Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Give it a few minutes, see if we can get some folks in here before we start talking. Sorry, getting messages. Forgot to turn my phone off. Yeah, AJG. I saw your message from earlier. I'm not familiar with Kevin. Kenny. He talked about Kenny a lot. Kenny was the guy from Alaska that ran the junkyard that his family was real good friends with. £200, 6 foot, and a beard. I gave him his card that night in the parking lot. Was that on a deleted live? I'm not sure. Mad Child says yes, it was a deleted live. Okay. Hot Rod sent a gift. A goat trophy. Yay! Thanks, Hot Rod. I don't know what that means. Did you send that because I'm a Billy Strings fan? Oh, Kevin the Cop. Kevin the Cop. Kevin the Cop. Kevin the Cop. Did the cop say his name? I remember Matt talking. Yeah, the cop did say his name, didn't he? I know he took that live down. He was the cop that told him to go to the motel, and Matt said he was going to go. Is that what you're talking about? Kevin was the cop. There were several incidents when he was live that involved cops. I saw 2 of them. He talked about another one that was off screen about talking to the cops. There was the one in Orville. Is that the one you're talking about? His last video in Orville? I didn't remember a name being said. He brought him cigarettes and a Gatorade. Hi, Ecker. Hi, Kathy's Northwind. Short Change. PJ Bucks in the house. Hot Rod. Oh, you just liked it. They call Billy String fans goat, or they call him the goat. And yeah, anyway, not related. Okay. Released by the PD. $1,000 jewels. You know, I just clicked on that the other day. I put it up there. I don't know what it means, but thank you. I gave you a heart for it. I like it. What's confusing, AJ? I don't know what I don't know what you guys are talking about. Kevin the cop. Okay. He was a police officer. I'm not sure, you guys. Not sure what you're talking about. HD Ultra says YouTube revenue will continue to go to Matt's next of kin. You know, I wasn't going to talk about that. BJ Buck's in the house. We can talk about that stuff if you want after. I was just going to let the memorial get, you know. Okay. Yeah, I'm confused too. Anyway, so we got going here. We got 62 people in the house. Busy Lizzie, Elaine, Robert, thank you for making it. Who did I miss? Short change 68, I think. Okay. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this tonight. If who knows or has ever seen Coffee with John and Momma? So Coffee with John and Momma, I found them on my Facebook, through Facebook, and just a couple of months ago when I was looking for Southern recipes. They're from Tennessee, and just I've watched maybe 10 of their videos. He does recipe videos mostly. Apparently he does lives as well, and unfortunately yesterday, well, today, I'll just go into this today. On my lunch, I was scrolling through my Facebook, and there was this urgent message to have everyone go to their page. John passed away on a live yesterday evening, and the mother could not get the live. It was horrible. It was horrible. She was trying to get everybody to mass report the channel, that video, so YouTube would take it down. She couldn't get a hold of YouTube to do it. It is impossible to get a hold of YouTube. So I went to the channel. I couldn't find the video. In fact, I couldn't find any lives. So I assumed they were taken down. Later today, I went on YouTube, and the video was up. It was a live that was done. And apparently, and I don't know if there's always been a second channel for him, or there's a second channel stealing his stuff, and the live was still up. That was about an hour ago that the live was still up. So I have listed both of the channels on the description here. Oops, I'm trying to click on it to tell you guys about it. They're listed in the description area. And one of the channels I know is the one I always watched, and that's Coffee Time with John and Momma. The other channel is called, just let me go to it, you guys, because I can't even remember the name of it now, but I did put the link for it in the description. The live is still up, you guys. I don't want you to go watch the live. It was, when I clicked on it, I was horrified. And his poor mama, we need to get it taken down. I've reported it. If you guys can go report it on the second channel. So Coffee Time with John and Momma is not the channel that it's still running on. Let me get that. It won't let me go into my video description when I'm on here. I hope nobody else has copied that, but it was definitely on the channel that I have listed, which is just John and Momma. And it says on the video is absolutely heartbreaking news. John Davis has passed away, and it's the entire video. Oh, wait, nope. Wait a minute. Yeah. No, yeah, it is the entire video. I just wanted it looked like it had been shortened, but it's not. Please go report that video. Please, everybody go report that video so that it gets taken down. His mother, just go report it. So the second channel is John and Momma. I don't think it's his channel. Like I said, I only started watching him, letting the dogs out, guys. I only started watching him a couple months ago, and it wasn't even through YouTube. It was through my Facebook, but I did subscribe to the channel, and I did, watch videos of theirs. And they're from Tennessee. I believe I also listed the funeral home announcement. If anybody were fans of theirs, so that they could send flowers, go on the funeral home's website. You can leave a message there for the family as well. His mom, well, John was 55, and his mom's like 80 years old, 70, probably between 75 and 80. Don't watch the video. I as soon as I saw that part, I just turned it off because Mama's screaming. It's just, please go report it. Please go report it. And we're going to talk about YouTube tonight. AJ, you reported it. So I don't even know if the family knows there's a second channel, because that was posted as a video and not a live, and it was a live. I don't know. I don't know when there are a lot of people that have more than one channel. I don't know. I can't say, because on the channel description, it did say that it was his it says, I'll read you the channel description, okay? It says all videos, images, and general content published by Coffee Time with John and Momma are the sole proprietary of the page administrator, John Davis. The videos, images, general content cannot be reproduced in any way without his authorization. So I would think if it was somebody, I don't know, you guys, I don't know. I just don't, but I do know I got a Facebook post, and it was his mother pleading for that video to be taken down. And we're going to go into that in just a second, because it is so hard to communicate with Facebook. There is no communication with Facebook. You literally now have to go to X, to a chat there. It's very hard to communicate. Facebook, YouTube. I'm sorry, getting things mixed up. Sorry about that, guys. So communicating with YouTube is very, very difficult. You remember when I posted the video about Lava Lindy losing her channel? That woman is just day and night for weeks trying to communicate with YouTube, who's run by Google and owned by Google. So there you get another entity, and then they ended up sending her to X, to a chat. She could not get the channel shut down. In the meantime, come to find out, whoever stole her channel, you guys put porn up on it. So YouTube shut it down. So then she started a second channel, right? The first channel literally got shut down by YouTube, not as a stolen channel, because it was reported for porn. So Lindy starts a second channel, and Lindy started uploading some of her older videos to her second channel, and she got remonetized. She sent she had to have so many hours of views and so on and so forth. So when she sent her AdSense, so even though you've been approved by YouTube for the partner program, then you have to be approved by AdSense. Your AdSense is connected to your social security number. So the only AdSense you can ever have is going to be the same AdSense account, which is connected to your social security number. So Lindy did her paperwork, sent in her stuff for AdSense to get remonetized on her second channel, got monetized the next day, got shut down by AdSense because she had reposted some of her old videos, you guys. And because the first channel was shut down for porn, none of the content on that channel could be reposted. If you get shut down twice on YouTube, you're done. You can, and I've been told two different things about this, and I really have to look into it because I think it's hard to find out unless somebody's gone through it. So I had another creator tell me 5 to 8 years before you could reapply for a YouTube channel at that point. And Lindy said that after the second one is shut down, you're done. You'll never have a YouTube channel again. And trying to communicate with YouTube, which is Google, is nearly impossible. And she didn't realize that her content, the videos she made that were stolen, hacked, would put her in that category. But she believes, and there's a video out there, somebody finally interviewed Lindy, if you want to go check it out, what she's talking about and what she's saying, is basically she'll never get to have another YouTube channel again. Of course, she is going to try and fight it because it was her content. But because YouTube shut it down from pornography, none of the content that was on that channel can ever be used again. That's the way I understood it by the interview that she did about that. Which brings me to this. All speculation. This is just stuff that I've learned recently because I watched the video from Lindy last night or the night before. Matt's second channel had enough subscribers and probably enough view hours that he would have been putting in for his AdSense on the second channel, which probably flagged that channel. And we all wondered how he was doing that. And I have talked to several other content creators, and they didn't understand it either. But I guess unless you've been through that process, having a channel shut down, getting flagged, you might not know the ins and outs of it. But you can go look for that explanation by Lindy, which also was a very good explanation about how she got hacked in the first place, what to watch out for, what you need to have available if you're a content creator, what you need to save, and make sure you have it put up in case you're ever hacked, because without it, you're not ever going to get your channel back. And it has to do with your AdSense. There's several different things that you're assigned when you get an AdSense account. An identification number, and then there's like a payee. There's like 3 different numbers that you have to have. So that makes me wonder, if that happened, could that have been a part of, lost hope? Maybe enough to send somebody over the edge, somebody that repeatedly said that they would never do that. I don't, it's all speculation, but when I was watching that with Lindy, it just clicked in my head that we had the same situation going on there, and that could have been a contributing factor. Yeah, AJ, I got a lot of tips from Lindy from the previous hack and took some pretty good precautions and VPNs, and anybody can get hacked. I know how she got hacked. I don't know who, I'm not monetized. I don't have 100, she had 60,000 subscribers, you guys, which was a huge push from Soft White Underbelly that had just happened. I mean, she went from like 12,000 to 60,000 in a week. So I don't know. A lot of speculation going on right now. I don't want to really add to it, but that did click in my head when I heard her talking about her second channel getting shut down. How devastating that would be. That was a third of her income. And that's devastating to anyone to lose their income. Okay, who else we got in the house today? I usually don't go this early. I've got somebody that's been very supportive to me as a content creator, and I'm usually watching his lives right now. I really, 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 you guys wanted to get the message out about Coffee Time with John and Momma. I wanted everybody to go flag that video. I really don't think that's his channel, and I really wish that would get taken down. It was heart-wrenching. It was very heart-wrenching. I can't see watching a 75-year-old woman in that kind of pain and knowing that he passed on. You saw it on Get Lost Mike, DG? Because that's not the channel I saw it on. Oh, there are other people posting it now too. Scotty Kitty, I put it in the description. I put his real, I don't know if they're both his real channels, but I did read on the second channel. I was reading it to everybody. I'll just read it to you one more time. All videos, image, and general content published by Coffee Time with John and Momma, which is his channel that I always watched. And I found him on Facebook. They have a Facebook page there. This channel is called John and Momma. And in the description, it says that Coffee Time with John and Momma are sole property of the page administrator John Davis. The videos, images, general content cannot be reproduced in any way without his authorization. So is that his second channel? I don't know. I did not find that live on the channel that I watch, Coffee Time with John and Momma. This isn't a live. It's a video. So it was a live stream when the incident occurred. And it was, I'm not trying to spread the video, you guys. I just want to make that very clear. I thought it had been taken down. I was happy it had been taken down. And then there it was again. And I could be wrong. That could be his second channel that he does lives from. I don't know. Like I said, I only found him a couple months ago because I was looking for Southern recipes on my Facebook. So it was through Facebook that I found him. It was through Facebook that I found out about this. And his mom is asking everybody to go report it. And that's why we're doing this. It's not for sensationalism. Let me just make that very clear. His mother cried out for help getting it taken down. And I wanted to do my part if I could. And I'm asking everyone here, please go report the video. Please. It's under John and Momma. The channel is under John and Momma. Go get it reported, please. And I don't understand. This is an incident. Should I make a video about it, you guys, and send it to YouTube? Like YouTube and what should I do? My 80-year-old little Lindy couldn't get a hold of Google. There's things going on. There are people being demonetized and their channels taken down that shouldn't be for AI and music, that their channel never had AI or music on it. And they can't, it's frustrating for people because you can't get a hold of YouTube at all. You can't speak to a live person at all. And I've heard that over and over and over and over again, which isn't this. My God, somebody should be able to get a hold of YouTube. In the case of Matt, if that had been shut down from the get-go months before, and I'm not going to say it would have changed the outcome, but you never know. If he hadn't been able to start a second channel, I don't know, you guys. I'm just saying there are things going on YouTube that are heart-wrenching, that people are, how do you know a child ain't going to walk into that? You know, a lot of people have, like, if my grandkids turned on my TV and went to my YouTube channel, it's not set for kids only. Granted, I only have one 10-year-old, the rest are teenagers and probably watching a lot worse than they're going to find on, you know what I mean? There should be a way for people to get a hold of YouTube, especially in this case, right? Am I wrong? Anybody want to chime in? Oh, I got flowers. Yay. Miss Scat 333 sent tulips. Yay, I'm going to heart it. I have no idea what that stuff means, but it's really cool. It popped up. Did it pop on? That's the first time I've ever seen it, you guys. So did it pop up on your screen too, like little tulips that bloom? That was cool. Okay, Scotty, so you know what I'm talking about. They can't get into his phone to take it down. So do you think it's his channel too? Or do you think somebody copied that and put it on another channel without their permission? Because the channel I watch, it wasn't on there. Coffee Time with John and Momma. The other channel is just John and Momma. And it wasn't a live. That's what I don't get. It's not a live. It's a video. Like, it was a live when it happened. Wasn't a video, it was a live. So when I went to the channel and it wasn't there and all the lives were gone, I just figured it got taken care of and that it was taken care of. Yeah, JJ, don't you think that God, the Lindy thing was heartbreaking, y'all. She is 80 years old, you guys. She's been living in a van. I believe it's been 8 years. She's had a YouTube channel for 6. I believe she said it took her almost 3 years to get monetized to begin with. And then she hardly made any money, but she kept up and she kept on and she kept on, you guys. And then to get it hacked when she kind of got big, you know, she got up to 60,000, which she said was almost too much for her to keep up with. And then she starts all over again and this happens. It's heartbreaking to me. You know what? The live that guy did had her Cash App on it, and I haven't even gone to see if the channel is still up or if it's completely gone or they just shut it. She can't make any videos because she had it listed there too. So it would be at least a way for fans who are trying to help her get through this time. And there is somebody that's going to try and help her get on Patreon and some other platforms. But she just said that she can never have a YouTube channel again. And it's just really upsetting to me. She never did. Y'all, her stuff was so inspiring. She giggles and laughs at herself. She does these how-to videos when she's doing, and she can't how-to or do, but she does them anyway. And she shows you how hard it is for somebody her age to do them. And she puts them out there anyway and laughs at herself. and she was getting quite a live following as well. Very well known in the nomad community down in Arizona, and Bob Wells did an interview with her at one time, if you're familiar with him. I'm just sad for her. I'm sad for John. Sad for John's mom. Bradley, you said it. You're saying it's on Get Lost Mike too. So somebody else has done it too. Good golly. The whole video, the whole thing, not just like a snippet of it or the whole thing, because it was horrible. I'm reading your comments, guys. We got 66 people here. Yeah, JJ, she is a sweetheart. Lindy's a sweetheart. Her stories are funny. She has been through so much, and you guys really should. She's also got Mark Leda did an interview on Soft White Underbelly with her, and just a small part of her story was told. She's had a very interesting life, a very hard life. She's a go-getter. She always has been. Single mom. She was kidnapped. Her and her son were kidnapped when he was just a baby. And she's an overcomer, man. She's just an overcomer. She really is. And such a sweetheart. Such a inspirational person. Let's just put it that way. Okay. Jeeps. Okay, we're going to get back to the Matt conversation. I'm cutting out again. You can't hear. Did anybody else have that problem, or was it just Scotty Kitty? Am I cutting out, you guys? I'll go kick them kids right off that gaming system right now. I'll do it. Y'all want to watch me do it? I'll take you with me. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody, because it happened the other night, too, and I've never had that problem with my lives. I have fiber optics. I shouldn't have that problem. We don't have any storms coming through. I'm looking at the windows. Nothing like that's going on. Okay. Hi, Wolf Mom. Laura Thame. Bradley Fertile. Ken. I'm just going to call you Ken from Connecticut. Hello. DJ, or D Grooms. I don't know why I always want to call you DJ Grooms. Jeeps is in the house. Of course, I said Scotty Kitty already. Okay. Why? Oh, so what is the deal with the Kevin Cop guy? Why is everybody asking about that? I've been kind of avoiding things for a while. I'm trying to chill myself out. I'm trying to get some good mental health going back over here. Come on, buddy. I'm trying to keep this door closed because there's a fan in the hallway that messes with the audio as well. Had people complaining about back noise, so Cole, either in or out, buddy. Thank you. Got to keep my dogs happy. Okay, so anybody going to tell me why this thing with Matt? Okay, I'll read Jeeps. Matt had a card in his front pocket. The officer came into the restaurant, told him about Lillian, who called them, and the officer already also said Tom had called. It was the night Tom came in. What's going on with that? Why are you guys all asking about that? I'm trying to figure that out. What's going on with that? Why is that coming up? Well, everybody's asking, Robert, why can't they tell me why? Calling me when I'm off of here ain't gonna help. AJ? Hi, Ball Barber. All righty, you've got another admin in the house. I sent Hank a message, but I did it like 10 minutes before, and I'll have to apologize to her. I've been trying to kind of give people a heads up. Hi, Elaine. Be blessed. Joyce Lyons is in the house. Hi, Joyce. Solomon Landscaping is in the house. Everybody's in the house. Tonight, I guess nobody's going to tell me why they were asking. Call me right now, Robert. I mean, there's several people asking. There's got to be a reason, right? Kadiak, nope. Nobody's going to talk about it, huh? Huh. Okay. Hello. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. And it was, I didn't remember the cop saying who his name was or giving Matt a card that night. He did? I remember him coming up into the restaurant and talking to Matt in the restaurant and leaving. But I don't remember him handing him a card in the restaurant. Okay. 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 And he said his name was Kevin? Okay. Okay. Well, I don't catch every single little thing when it comes to that stuff. And I think he took that video down, didn't he? Or did he? Okay. Yeah, there's a few people that have that video. So I'll ask the person I know that has it. They're not posting it though. The person I know that has it isn't reposting any of them. So I'll look for it. Like I said, I've been avoiding stuff. I just got some sunshine, Robert. I got to go. All right. Love you too. Bye. That's what I said, Jeeps. So she says, okay, the title of the thumbnail is heartbreaking news, and it is a video. That's what I noticed, that it was a video. I was in such shock, man. I clicked off of it, and then I started thinking about it because the title was John and Momma, and I thought, well, maybe it is. And then I went back, and I was not listed as a live, and I guess I didn't even look at the title of the video. But thank you for that. Heartbreaking news. Okay. Then oh my God. Heartbreaking news. I mean, they could have cut it off when John said, I don't feel good. They could have cut it off right there. Report it. Everybody report it. Please report it. Please, please, please report that. Thank you very much. And if anybody has any idea how, if I should make a video to YouTube, maybe get other creators that I know to post videos to YouTube to try and get their attention. This is something that needs to be addressed, right? Am I wrong? That doesn't need to be. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I think that in a case like this, like, what if somebody was doing a live of anything, got hit by a car, anything? Doesn't that need to be removed right away? And don't we need to have a way to get those things removed? Because it happens. Hey, Luis Velasquez, 619, sent Flow State. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to like it. Flow State. Thank you very much, sir. Well, let me take it off here now. And I got a sun balloon from Miss Cat, and that was 500 joules. I wonder what the joules, can I pass them on to, I wonder what they do. Anybody know what the joules do? It's been sitting there for a long time. Send gifts. And I finally just clicked on it the other day. And I'm like, I didn't want like people, I wasn't going to set up like an Amazon link for my wish list, or that's what I thought it was. And then it wasn't. But then I guess I didn't probably. I don't know what it is, you guys. But thank you, because it's cool, because it pops up on the screen and does little things, and I like it. Get Lost Mike. Yes, it is. Yes, Scotty Kitty. Thank you very much. Get Lost Mike has a video, and it's Lindy, and she's telling her story. And especially if you're a content creator or you know other content creators, she really gives a lot of good information that everybody should be aware of if you're doing YouTube content. It might save you a lot of heartache, honestly. Hi, Wolf Mom. You missed the beginning. Well, we got sidetracked with some guy named Kevin. Turns out to be a cop that apparently gave Matt his card. And for some reason, everybody is talking about it, and I have no idea. Apparently, something has been posted on the internet. God only knows. There has been so much crap posted on the internet that is just, I don't know. Can I get a show of hands from everyone who has seen total garbage posted about this whole situation over this week? Just like totally inaccurate, complete garbage. I had to stop watching it. I had to stop watching people I've never heard Matt talk about say they were his best friend, and just all kind weird stuff. Um, that's all I'm going to say about it for right now. We'll talk about it this weekend because I do have a lot more to say about it. But I'm going to let the memorial go tomorrow. Everybody go check out the 2 channels that are running those memorials. Faith versus Reality is Jack and Amber. Matt helped them get their channel started, and it is Bible based, and they seem like really sweet people. And Robert is also a moderator over there, so go check it out. 2 to 6 tomorrow. So Wolf Mom, does anyone know if the Brown family has laid Matt to rest? What I've seen, which I think it was Bird posted it, that it was going to be a private ceremony. They wanted to do a Viking burial, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We don't really know. They haven't really said anything. I'm sure they're probably going to do that after everything's been taken care of. Nothing has been made official. There's just a lot of rumors about that too. Yeah, prayers out to Matt's family. We're going to talk more about that as well this weekend. So, we're going to talk about a lot of things. A lot of things that Granny walked right into, got sideswiped on. I've been watching old videos. That's how I've chosen to deal with this. Noticing a lot of things and making notes of a lot of things that were kind of eye-opening to me in a lot of ways. Yeah, very interesting things that we'll talk about this weekend. And I promise you it'll be good. And I promise you that if you bring your favorite memories of him, I am trying to be respectful and let the memorial get done by the town. I don't want it to be, what I've been accused of being. But yeah, when you're rewatching things from the perspective that I now have, it is funny how things stick out, how things are said, comments that are being made, and by who, because I didn't know the whole cast of characters. I was always watching the videos when they were live. I didn't do the Music Madness, but I did catch a lot of his live videos. I wasn't paying attention. A lot of it was hatred. A lot of it was gross. And I didn't pay attention to the cast of characters involved and how interwoven a lot of those people were. But going back after the experience that I've had here, it gave me a whole new perspective. And a lot of you were there, and a lot of you were very kind, and a lot of you were definitely supporters. I know Kathy, I was watching a video, I believe from 2 years ago. I believe it was right before Matt left the orchard to move in with the boys, and you had made some really cool comments on that video, and he was talking to you. That was cool. It's cool to go back and watch Robert Gaylor many times. He talked to Robert, said Robert's name, and see, those names didn't mean anything to me before, but they mean a lot to me now. And a lot of the people in here have been there all along. A lot of the people I see posting things now, I don't find them anywhere on his channel. And they surely do not seem to know or have kept up. If they were Matt's best friend, they should know a lot more than they know. That's all I'm going to say. I see a lot of that going on too. And I guess that's just people jumping on it for the fame and notoriety now. I don't know. You guys seen it? What do you feel about it? How do you feel about some of the stuff you said? Thank you, Kathy. That's what yeah. It's the only thing Bird really said is that they're going to have a private ceremony. She didn't really go into anything at all. I feel bad for Jamie and I feel bad for the whole family. That family's taken a lot of heat in all of this, a lot. And that's the other thing. Guys, if you haven't been going back and watching Matt's old videos, I can tell you there are 3 different videos that I've watched in the last 2 days where he talks very lovingly about Bear. Very lovingly. In one of them, he said, Bear came to check on me, you guys. It was after he knocked his tooth out and all that at the trailer. Bear showed up looking for Matt to see if he was okay. One of them was that video. Does that sound like an estranged relationship to you guys? No, he talked about Bear and Gabe many times, I know, over the years, and it wasn't with hatred or angst. In fact, the one that I watched, I think it was last night, where he was talking about Bear, and it was a different video. He said, what a great guy Bear was. What a wonderful guy. And to see him with his family. And he says, they all have families now, and I have my thing going. And you just move away, and everybody's doing their own thing. And that's the way he made it sound. I'll make sure to have that video for you guys this weekend when we talk more about this, okay? I'm missing a bunch of stuff again. I always miss stuff too here. Yeah, Wolf Mom says she can understand them keeping it private or they'd be inundated. I guarantee you. The guy that posted the video, Robert says the video about the cop also posted something about fungi writing that letter. Everyone seems to be posting Matt's deleted videos. I know somebody that's got them all and hasn't posted a single one. Not a single one. I was asking him about something that had happened, if I had remembered it right. And they said, I'll go back and watch, and came back and told me, yeah, you remembered it right. And they haven't posted any of them, and they won't. Okay. Elaine B. Bless says it's absolute garbage and lies. Oh, the deleted videos, people posted them. I have a bunch of them too that I saved, the ones that I could catch before he deleted them. I've had them. I've had them before I started my channel. The first one, the 3 days under the tarp, when he came back and said that I had that. I never posted any of them. He deleted them for a reason. It's not my content. I had a bunch of the other ones. I missed a bunch of the lives. I work, a lot of them were done during the day and then deleted in a very short time afterwards. I would catch bits and pieces. Sometimes the one that I did talk about when he said stuff about Amy, that was during the day, but I worked and it was on my lunch. And by the time I got off, he had deleted it. Tefcon, just like Fungi accused Jamie of doing it to Matt, his comment he erased. Fungi also said Jamie got caught with a man, which is a lie. Jeeps, you posted a comment to Jamie. If you go back and watch his videos, you guys, Chipaka 1 and the Return to Chipaka 1 and 2 from May of 2025, go watch those. That was the Matt we loved. That was the Matt that loved Jamie and her kids. And he talks about it on both of them. And it was very French fry night will always be etched in my mind. French fry night. Who else feels that way? Can I get a raise of hands? So I left the chat open tonight. I left the comments open tonight. Anybody in here that hasn't subscribed, I am trying to get there. I would appreciate a like and a subscribe if you have not already done so. That would be great, everybody. Miss Scat, I did see that video. I have been popping in on his videos. So, fun guy. That was creepy. If you want to talk to Matt, talk to him. You don't need a machine, and you certainly don't need devices. It's just, nah. I think people that mess with that kind of stuff, it's not the spirit of people. It's demonic and residual. I do believe in residual energy, but I don't believe that souls are stuck in places and haunting them. I believe that's either demonic or residual energy. Laura, you can't find his old videos, the ones from the farm? I've watched several of them. My favorite is the Christmas one. This little Christmas hat, and he did all of those, all of the cutout snowflakes and hung them from the ceiling. You guys remember that? And went and got a little Charlie Brown tree and had it looking good in there. And I noticed that the last video he did there, that the place looked pretty clean to me. Just saying. Elaine B. Bless, yes, the Facebook page that says it's Matt has never been Matt's. If you followed Matt at all, you would have picked up on that quite quickly. The things that have been said on there, although philosophical, they were not Matt. They were not Matt's words. You could tell they were not Matt's words or his philosophies on life. So that, I don't know who's doing that, but they've been doing that for a very, very, very long time. A very long time. And I believe that there's fake ones for all of them. All of them. Yeah, Wolf Mom. God. I have the same problem when I try to talk about the videos I've been making about my early childhood and my dad. My dad's gone. The person I had in the first part of my life and the person I had in this last part of my life were two different people. and I had the very good version at the end. So going back and talking about that on video has been hard for me. Um, and with everything that has happened here, some of the stories and some of the things that I talk about uh, are too close to this, too close to what's happened. Um, if you guys remember in my first video, whoever watched it, because so many people, come in here and say things and they never watched the first video or any of the other ones. The first time I did meth, my dad gave it to me. I was an adult. Don't get me wrong. I wasn't a kid. But that started my problems with methamphetamines, and it came from my dad. And when I started dealing meth, it came from my dad. It's not easy to talk about those things for me, but those are things that happened in my life that led to other things and led to other things, and they're part of my story. They're part of who I am. And although they're difficult to talk about, Matt opened out about that a couple times himself. And I said that I felt like he had a very unconventional childhood. I had a very unconventional childhood. My dad was a biker. He was a Vietnam veteran. He had mental illness. There was a lot of chaos and instability. And not that my parents both worked very good jobs. We had, a middle class home in a middle class neighborhood, but that's not what I'm talking about when I say chaos and instability. And I felt drawn to Matt because of that. I felt like when I made that first video, it was harsh, but it was not untrue. I was speaking the truth, my truth to him. One addict to another addict, one person who had been through recovery multiple times to another person who had been through recovery multiple times, one person with weird family life, chaos, to another person with weird family life, chaos. And that's where it came from. And then there came times when I got really angry with him. And I think that was because we couldn't get through to him. And I felt like he was burning down his channel, and I thought he was burning everything down. And I was disappointed. And if you can't get to him the nice way, then get to him the hard way. None of it worked. It wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. What I did not matter. It didn't matter what anybody else did. It did not matter, and it wasn't going to matter. And I truly believe it didn't matter what Jaime did either. We talked about it over and over again. Meth psychosis. How many times? Can I just get a raise of hand if you heard me talk about that more than once? Because I knew what I was watching, because I'd been there, because I'd seen it with my brother, because I'd seen it with other people. I knew his mind was on a track in psychosis, and that was Jaime. He couldn't stop it. He couldn't quit it. He couldn't make it change. It was the neural pathways in the brain that had been changed. And unfortunately, nobody could help him. Everybody tried, I think. Yes, remember that we all loved him. Kind of, I watched him for years. You guys watched him for years. Like I said, I'm seeing people in here now that were commenting 2 and 3 years ago on his videos and in his channel. I'm seeing you. I'm seeing you. And that's kind of what this community has been from the very get-go. We did have a few people that came in and like, what is going on? But they were pretty few and far between. There were a few. And then we had a whole war going on in here that we'll talk about later, because I'm not going to get into that tonight. We'll get into that later. But Yeah, I was blindsided by a lot of that. I learned. Thank you, Matt Brown. I'll say it again. My my YouTube experience has been quick, eventful, educational, um, scary, sad. Uh, I owe 90% of that to Matt Brown. Wolf Mom, yeah, she says she was there from the beginning. I didn't comment either, Wolf Mom. Every once in a while, hey Matt, great, I love this video, something like that, but I never got into the community chats. To tell you the truth, I didn't even know how to do that till about a year ago. You can't do it on your TV, you got to do it on your phone. Um, yeah. Laurel, Matt, yeah, I had heard the Viking thing too. I just couldn't remember where I heard it from. I guess Bear had mentioned that. I catch Bear now and then. Um, and since this has happened, I've caught him a lot more. The night that he posted was pretty horrendous, and the response he got was absolutely gut wrenchingly sickening, sickening, and I mean sickening. And I'm saying, like 70% of it was sickening. Scotty Kitty, same for my husband and his dad. His dad gave all kinds of drugs as a young teen and was drinking at 10, and his dad was a vet. We started doing oxy for 2 years. Now he's clean for 13 years. Go husband. Right? It can be done. We can all do it. My dad did it. My dad also spent a year in a mental health hospital for in the VA in Kent for Leavenworth. They did a lot of hypnotherapy with him. It was very life changing for him. It That's when we started going to VA meetings with him, and I started getting an understanding of complex PTSD, which I've had since I was a kid. Didn't know it, didn't understand it, but CPTSD a lot of times leads to addiction. And when you live with somebody who is a war veteran who suffers severe complex post traumatic stress disorder, 90% of the people in that household are also going to acquire that from years and years and years and years of living with it. Acute hearing is one of the things. So, the last sense in our physical sense that we have in our body that develops is your hearing. And that's because for boys between 17 and 19, the final growth in their brain, in their skull happens, in their cranium. And that changes the ear canal pathways. And that is when your hearing is fine tuned. And if you're in a jungle and a twig breaking in the bushes next to you means your life, they develop acute hearing. My dad had acute hearing. I have acute hearing. And basically, that means that you have a hard time. Somebody could be talking to you right in front of you, but your hearing is tuned into the refrigerator motor that just came on in the kitchen, and you can't filter out other noises very well. It just, I'm going into that in a video. Living with that was very trying. It was a type of torture, the noise thing in our house. how you couldn't make noise, you couldn't do the he expected us to do the dishes like in the sink, the old fashioned kind of do the dishes without anything clinking, because he couldn't hear the TV in the other room if there was noise in the kitchen of clinking dishes. It's a different kind of psychological trauma, and you would not understand it unless you lived through it. And most of the stuff I went through as a child, you couldn't understand. To even try to describe it to you would be completely you wouldn't get it, you wouldn't understand it, you wouldn't. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's a different kind of trauma and abuse. Who is Jeeps? Who? I'm out. You literally read the comment from someone who made the original Kevin comment out loud, and you said, "Who is Kevin?" And I've asked you to verify. I've asked you what that's about several times. Somebody else said that it was the cop. So I don't understand the question really. And why me reading the question out loud has anything to do with you. What, I don't know. You'd have to explain to me what's going on. I've asked everybody to explain to me what the Kevin thing is about, and nobody wants to explain it. And Robert called me and said something with that video was posted about the cop that came in when Tom came in, and something about, I don't know. What is the question? I don't understand. I thought he was talking about Kenny from Alaska. I don't know who Kevin is. I didn't catch that on that video. Yeah, Bird loves animals. I guess nobody's going to tell me what that Kevin thing is about, but okay. My scat 33. My cousin did the same thing about 2 years after I graduated from high school. He was just in too much pain mixed with meth and booze. Terrible combination. Yeah. Solomon, you're as clueless as I am. I mean, there were several people that came in and asked about it, and then I asked what that was about. I don't know what it is and who it is, and now somebody's mad at me. Oh, okay. So Jeep said John. Okay, Jeeps. I'm misunderstanding what's going on. So Jeeps was trying to answer me. I thought she was mad at me because I didn't answer the question. I don't know, honey. I don't know. I didn't. I was like, why is she mad at me about that? Because I don't know something. Um, Apparently, a lot of the channels are putting that live of John up. John. I'm lost again. Okay, who's John? John. Oh, John. Yes, John. John and Mama. I thought, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't keep up. Oh, JJ, Miss Birdie, I love him wrapping the gifts for his nieces and nephews. That was sweet. But he said he couldn't see them. I don't know. I think that was after that, JJ. He said that he was going to be the secret before the video of him wrapping the gifts. There was a video of him talking about going and being the secret Santa, and he knew what he wanted to buy for each one of the kids. He wouldn't be able to be there, but he could be the secret Santa. And I believe he was dropping them off with Gabe. In the end, I'm very confused about a lot of that because Matt had said many times that he cut off the family, not the other way around. That sometimes you come to a place where you realize that that's not healthy for you. And I even one video that he said that when you become adults and you go get your own families, and that's the healthy thing to do, and that's what should be done. He talked about, if you guys go back and watch the old videos, he talked about that more than once, many times. I'm way behind. Shits and Giggles thinks that Matt may have been talking to Jamie and Kevin as the new boyfriend. The cop? She had a Jamie had been calling for well checks on Matt. There's laws in Washington to get people for both addiction and mental health. If she was dating a cop and she was trying to get him that, I don't know I don't know where that came from, Shits and Giggles. I think a lot of people are getting a lot of information that, like I said, I'm not doing the social media thing with all of this. I know what I watched. I know what we talked about here. I know what I saw unfold in front of my eyes. And most of the crap that's out there is inaccurate, to say the least. To say the least. Who watched him cook the beef patties in mushroom soup? I didn't. Did I watch that one? I don't know, but that sounds good, Miss Beardy. You're making me hungry. I haven't had supper yet. No one is 100% on who Kevin is. I know somebody that saved the videos. I'll ask them to go back and look because I don't remember the Kevin thing at all. I remember the cop thing. I remembered he was in McDonald's. Somebody was sweeping. And I thought it kind of ended there with him talking to a McDonald's girl. I don't remember him giving him a card. Somebody said it was a credit card. I don't know. FUT average dude, gossip or truth. I think we're trying to differentiate between the two, sir. There's a lot of gossip out there. There's a lot of crap that's happened out there. There's a lot of things that are being said that aren't true. I think we're all aware of that. He's future average dude. Welcome. I haven't seen you here before. Shane was one of the officers in his drunk video, and he went to the Mexican restaurant. Did you mean Shane? Or shame that officer didn't take him in? You're going to have to clarify on that. I don't understand that comment. He got a card from the cop that day at McDonald's. Is that when Tom came? The guy gave him. I'm I'm not saying he didn't. I'm saying that it didn't register with me if he did. Is that what Matt said? Read his name or something? That's how you guys know it was Kevin? Did he say a last name? I mean, did he say like Officer Kevin? Officer. Is the video out there floating around? Oh, y'all can take Kevin out to eat. Okay. First off, Tom did not call the cops. Somebody in here that was in the live called the cops. I want y'all to think about this for a minute, okay? Think about this for a minute. I talked about it on the video. I've talked about it twice. I'll say it one more time. Tom left, and within literally a minute or two, that cop was there with Matt. It was all done live. The cops don't come that fast. So then somebody in here said, no, I called the cops. And then on the video, if you heard right, he said, did my friend call the cops? And the cop said yes. And then he says something about Tom, and then the cop corrects him and he says, no, it was some woman from the East Coast. Do you guys remember that? It was some woman from the East Coast. Then she showed up after the whole Tom thing came up on one of my last videos and said it was me. My name, I called the cops and they wouldn't take me serious. Tom didn't call the cops. It was me. I live in Maine and they told me they couldn't take me serious because I live in Maine. I'm not here, even though I told them it was on a live video. So she has spoken up twice, and the cop did say, no, it was a lady from the East Coast that called in. He corrected himself. Does everybody remember that? We've talked about it before. It was a lady from the East Coast, and the cop corrected. I think Matt said, flow state, yay, we're going to do this, I guess. I'm getting jewels. I don't know what I can do with them or what they're for. If I can pass them back to you guys, I'll have to go figure that out after this. But I've gotten a lot of them tonight, and I'm going to love that one too. So, I don't know what that was. Okay. I thought I had a message from somebody important. You know who you are. My buddy, my friend, Mr. Frank White. Okay. Okay, I'm good. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Wolf Mom, thank you for the flow, by the way. Wait a minute. Laurel, Kevin ended up coming into the live chat to explain to Matt that he had some photos of Billy. This was on one of Matt's first videos after leaving Jamie's, long before the McDonald's officer. So, Omak. See, I remember the cops stopping him in Omak. There was 3 incidents in Omak, and I remember watching 2. Then there was an incident in Brewster that we're talking about. That was the McDonald's one. That was in Brewster. Yeah, no wonder I've been confused. So Kevin came into the live chat explaining to Matt that he had some photos of Billy in one of Matt's first videos after leaving Jamie, long before the McDonald's. Now, before he left the first time and went, because he was in Omak the first time, right? Said he was under the tarp. ended up back at Jamie's, and then went back to OMAC. Do I have that straight, everybody? Miss Cat. Have I been calling you my scat? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Cat. Meow. So sorry. Somebody told me I should upload this. You can make special icons for super chats and emojis and different things. I'll look into that, guys. Scotty Kitty. So the Kevin they're talking about was in OMAC then. This was not the officer that went into McDonald's. Yeah, I didn't remember nothing about no card or Kevin or anything about that in that video. Of course, I was devastated that he didn't go with Tom and freaked out a little bit about that, but I didn't remember that. Yeah, I did not. No wonder. No wonder I'm confused. What's the name of the friend who had his truck towed to the shop? I don't know. I don't know because Matt never talked. I mean, the last video we got from Matt was Monday, Memorial Day. He said he'd been clean for 2 days. He was detoxing. Things weren't looking good for funds. Um, broke, had nowhere to go, nowhere to really lay his head. It was hard there. And the cop came up and gave him cigarettes and a Gatorade. And the video cut out. And when we didn't hear from him for a couple of days, I figured he was detoxing. That's a hard detox. That's a double detox, you guys. Triple if it had fentanyl in it. No, I'm pretty sure it probably did because they're saying it's all got fentanyl in it now. Joyce says she really misses Matt. I know Robert's really missing Matt too. A lot of us are missing Matt. Yes, Miss Cat. I've been watching the old videos and going through the lives as well and listening to a lot of your names being called out, to be honest. Cindy Grimes says YouTube took it down. The reposts of Matt Lives or what which did they take down? Because they're out there everywhere from what I've seen. You can't, like, I can't even get on Facebook or anywhere else, and it's just full of them. I'm not watching them. I'm not looking at the comments because they're channels I've never even heard of. Okay, shits and giggles, yes, the cop was from OMAC. Okay, that clears a lot of things up. I must have missed that one. I missed the one of the ones where he talked about it afterwards, but I didn't see the actual interaction. I did catch the one, like I said, he was in OMAC and the cop was telling him to go get a motel, and Matt was saying that he would, and then he didn't. And then he ended up under the, disappearing for 3 days and told us all he was under the tarp. And I immediately went, there was no rain, none. That's when I got mad at him. Laurel. I think a lot of us are missing what Matt could have been. I also think a lot of us have our own Matt in our lives. Yeah, Laurel, that hits home, doesn't it? If there's anybody in this live right now who has not been affected by addiction and alcoholism, please raise your hand, because you're a lucky person. People finally seen the light and quit giving him money, but the autopsy. So the autopsy report will only go to the family. That was a cause of death report. There was a lot of misleading information about that too. But when there is a death that is considered unnatural, especially one that was publicized like that one, they're going to give a cause. And it's perfect. I believe the sheriff's department actually released that. The coroner released it to the sheriff's department, and it is typical for it to be released to the news outlets. I looked that up right away, but I knew we didn't get my dad's autopsy report or my uncle's. It usually takes at least 6 to 8 weeks for a full autopsy report. That was a cause of death report. So they determined the cause of his death. And the 3 things that they determined to be factors were listed. So that wasn't a full toxicology report. And like I said, from what I'm reading now, I could be wrong. I'm not a chemist, and I'm not using meth. They're putting fentanyl in all of it. So then we had meth, alcohol, fentanyl. Who else? Who knows what else they're putting in it? All I'm saying is that is a very, very difficult detox. So to not hear from him for days, I didn't expect to hear from him for days. I really thought it was Tom that went and picked him up, and it was Tom helping him with the truck, and he was detoxing. Tom's in recovery. So I stupidly just assumed, and that wasn't the case from what I've heard. Wasn't Tom. Tom had nothing to do with any of it. Yes, Miss Beardy, I did see the one where Bear pleaded with people not to send him money. It was a few weeks before the end. Miss Beardy, I would love to see a document made, and I would think and hope that Matt would approve of this. But he was brilliant. He had a lot to offer. He was charismatic. People just fell for Matt. I don't think he ever met a stranger. And how the dangers of methamphetamine and every drug that's out there, because where it can take you and how it can end up. And mental health is totally ignored in our country. Mental illness is totally ignored in our country, and it's shunned, and nobody wants to talk about it. The largest mental health institutions in America are prisons. Hello. They don't get treatment there, I'll tell you that. It gets worse for them. Oh, Becca. I do remember that. River Rain, yeah, he wasn't clean when it happened. So he told us on Monday that he was detoxing. It was his second day. Yeah, I don't really want to there's been so many rumors with good authority. I heard that he seemed fine, and 2 hours later he was off the chain. So I imagine he got a hold of something. I don't know. Just we can only speculate that that's what happened. Somebody gave him something. He got a hold of something. Something happened. He could have found out YouTube completely shut him down. That was going to happen at some point because and everybody kept saying it, and everybody kept saying it. How did he even start a second channel? How is this going on? How is YouTube allowing this? It was inevitable. The second channel, and I just found out from Lindy when they shut down your second channel, that's it. And somebody else told me, no, you're on like a suspension for 5 to 8 years, depending on the offense, after the second channel is shut down. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't knew. No, he said Monday it was not good financially. I don't think he got paid. YouTube would have paid by then or around then. I don't know. We're speculating. Yeah, yeah, great. Beardy. I thought he looked pretty good on that Memorial Day video too. But I mean, he said he was detoxing. So having been through that detox, and I didn't add alcohol to the mix, but having been through it, I knew it was going to be a rough week. Um, so Ambassador for Unity. Um, is it medically dangerous to detox without medical assistance? It depends on the drug that you're detoxing from. Benzodiazepines absolutely can kill you quickly. That type of detox, and alcohol detox can. Opiates will make you wish you were dead. Methamphetamine will make you feel like you're the Walking Dead. The opiate one is it's the best way to describe that would be the flu, the worst case of the flu times 10. Not fun. Body aches, chills, uh, usually a lot of diarrhea. It's not fun. Alcohol is a very dangerous detox if you have been a long term alcoholic and you're dependent on the alcohol. I don't know if he had reached that stage yet, um, but it can be a very, very dangerous. There are people that have died from from detoxing from alcohol. And there are detox centers that will actually give some alcoholics certain amounts, and now they have medication actually as well, but they will give them certain amounts of alcohol to keep them alive to detox. So yeah, Ambassador says, yeah, he knows somebody that died from alcohol detox. Alcohol detox is very dangerous. The most dangerous one, though, is the benzodiazepines. I don't think Matt was doing benzos. It didn't. His highs didn't look like benzo highs at all. Days Romero. Hi, friends. I'm going to miss Matt a lot. He was a good person. And look how respectful he was and how he tried to speak Spanish. Okay, so I want to know something. Is anybody in here that wasn't here for the beginning about Jack and Momma and going and reporting that channel in any of the videos of that event, that live that are being reposted? Is anyone in here that did not hear me talk about that? Because that is very important. We've gotten sidetracked. I want to make sure that everybody in here has gone and reported that video, please. The channel is Jack and Momma. The video is called, somebody said it earlier, it's Absolutely heartbreaking news. John Davis has passed away. It's a video of the man losing his life in front of his mother. It's very disgusting that it's not taken down. I believe it actually happened on his channel and they did get that taken down, but somebody has reposted it on another channel, and it's just heartbreaking that they're doing that. JJ at Solomon's Landing. I was on opiates for almost 20 years, had to get off because they didn't want me on them anymore. I had tingling weird issues for months after I stopped. It was miserable. I'm sorry, JJ. It is a miserable detox. I've never had to detox from it, but I had a lot of girls that were coming off opiates. And they were supposed to go through detox before they came to treatment, but some of them said they had and they hadn't, and you know how that goes. Shits and Giggles said the same thing. You can die from benzos, and alcohol will kill you on a detox. Not everyone. It depends on the amount that they were doing, what type of benzos. There's different types of benzos, and it really, but that is the worst one. And anybody that's been on benzos for any amount of time should never cold turkey. It should be weaned. They do wean people off of benzos for a reason. Oh, in Arizona, they test them in jail and prison for drugs, and they medicate them to come off of them. That's um that's that's good. It is. Don't get me wrong, because most of them don't help them at all. Um, I don't subscribe to the methadone, and you guys, what's the other one that they give? They're given methadone, Suboxone. Uh, a lot of people get hooked on the. I mean, I've heard I've never really had a problem with opiates. That has never been my thing. It was always the meth, and for a while crack, which is I hated it and loved it at the same time. Hated that shit. But uh, that I lost my train of thought, guys. Oh, in Arizona, that they give them something to help them come down. That's good. Yeah, Miss Beardy, I went looking for it the other night too. I'm a little shaky about when Matt left. Were they on the Lone Star Ranch yet when he left? Because I can't remember him being there, but somebody told me he was for a couple episodes. And I went to go look, and then HBO wants $20 a month for a subscription. I don't know. Payday's tomorrow. We'll see what's left. We'll see what's left over, but I've been wanting to rewatch it too. Shits and Giggles, you're asking me to spell the name of the channel. The name of the channel that I'm talking about is JOHNAND Momma, MOMMA, and then there's a dash N5 after it. Their channel, the one that I always watched before, was called Coffee Time with John and Momma. And he's just a sweet, goofy guy that does Southern recipes with his mom in their kitchen. And he has some really good recipes. That's how I found him on Facebook, looking for recipes. And then I've watched several of their videos. And Mama's the sweetest darn thing, and she helps him cook. And he was a very heavy set man. and she would help him and get things out of the refrigerator, and he sat on the counter and they cooked things and did salads and taught you how to cook Southern. And it's different than I've ever learned. I came from Iowa, and my family was German, and we did a lot of German foods. But all I can say, I love most Southern food, but they overcook their vegetables. I don't like my vegetables mushy, but that's how they do them here. Okra, never even had it till I moved to the South. Fried okra is pretty, I'd rather have okra in my soup. Not real big on okra any other way, but I will eat some fried okra once in a while. And boiled peanuts is a taste you have to acquire if you weren't raised on that. They gave your friend benzos to detox him from alcohol. So probably they probably gave him like a Valium or possibly maybe Klonopin or Xanax, but it would have probably been really low doses, and so benzos can be given like for anxiety. Some people have anxiety, like Valium and so forth. They gave me Valium when I had to get a bunch of teeth work done before I came in to take it that morning. It was one, and then I took it, and my kids had said I acted like I was drunk. But if you take a benzo that way, say you're taking whichever one, there's a lot of them, and you're taking them for anxiety, and you're taking them maybe twice a week, you're not going to have withdrawals or problems with it. The benzo problem is there are people that really like benzos, and they start they're taking a lot of them, and you can't just come off of those. You can't just cold turkey those. It's very dangerous. Shits and giggles, maybe they took it down. We've been mass reporting it tonight. The name of the video, it's still up there. It's called Absolutely Heartbreaking News. John Davis has passed away today. It's 1 day old. This happened yesterday. 152,000 views. It's still up, honey. So I don't want to watch it. I just clicked on it to make sure it was still up. Again, the channel honey, it's in my description on this live. I listed both channels. Okay. I listed his channel that I know, which is Coffee Time with John and Momma. And I listed the channel that has the video on it. And when I went to that channel, it was the first video on it. And it is called Absolutely Heartbreaking News. John Davis has passed away today. Miss Beardy Lover, Granny, we can't set up a donation under Matt's name because places like Betty Ford are very expensive. I mean, if you're interested in doing something like that, I can give you several places if you want to do something like that are faith-based ministries that I know of personally. And no, let me get one of them for you now. I want to make sure because they changed the name recently, and they're in North Georgia, and the man that runs the program is named Larry McKenna, and I believe it is no longer bound. And I know him personally, and I've known him for many, many, many years. And he worked alongside of Abba House Ministries, which is for women. Larry's program is for men. He's worked with several different ministries, and he has his own ministry now. So I would just want to make sure I got the name. They're in Dahlonega, Georgia area. Of course, I'm on his personal page. Uh, anyway, I'll get that to you, Miss Beardy, if you want it. There are a lot of programs out there that are faith-based programs, and the one that I worked with for 5 years was Abba House Ministries out of Perry, Georgia, for women and children. And although my counselor, the director of the program, was a licensed addiction counselor, they would not allow the state to come in and mandate what they could do and what they could not do. So they were not state licensed, and no one was turned away. A lot of the churches did scholarship programs. A lot of the girls who had people in their lives that could pay, and the tuition was very, very, very reasonable. We're talking like $700 a month versus $70,000 a month. And they get a lot of donations from churches to run the programs. Larry's program and Abba House both, we had a thrift store that funded a lot of it. It also gives the students training. So they would be in classes and group therapy for half the day, and the other half of the day they would work in the thrift store under supervision. And it taught a lot of them, they didn't have job skills and they didn't have routines and schedules, and it was very good for them. It was very good for them. Yeah. Donate to recovery centers in your area. And if you have a hard time finding them, get a hold of, send me a message. I can get you probably a list. The other one is Teen Challenge, which sounds like a kids program, and I think it started that way. They have ministries all over the country, and they I believe it's either very, very reasonable or free, and they have long term recovery as well. Uh, a lot of the 30-day programs, 30 days it's barely enough. You can't break old habits and form new ones in 30 days. Long-term programs do much better. The people graduating from them do far better. um, and there's a lot of faith-based ones out there. And you don't have to. The one I went to, Abba House, it was based on biblical principles. It was not denominational. It was about relationship. It was not about laying down the law and you got to be this way. And in fact, they encourage journaling and getting your answers from God through journaling and through reading and interpreting and letting God speak to you. It wasn't about pounding you with the Bible or anything like that. In fact, I learned a whole new relationship. I learned about relationship in that program, and it was not religious based, it was spiritually based. Robert, you going? Good night. Good night, Robert. Benzos affect the same part of the brain as alcohol. Okay, so Granny, we can't set up a donate. Okay, I got lost here. Opiates and Suboxone. I know a ton of people that got addicted to Suboxone. They said it was worse coming off Suboxone than it was the opiates, the oxys and stuff. Just saying. Like I said, that wasn't my drug of choice, and it wasn't something that I've had to deal with. Um, yeah. Good night, Robert. The live call-ins of Matt's. I've watched a few of them. Miss Cat. several of those I've watched. As a matter of fact, I need to go back and watch them over. Like I said, now I have names and people to put to a lot of that, where I didn't before. It was He did a lot of those later in the evening, you guys, and I'm on East Coast, he's on West Coast. I get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, so watching something that comes on at midnight or 1 o'clock is just not something I could do. And that was very community based. I think you guys had a big community in there. And I think that because a lot of you came here. And now that I'm going back and I know your names and I've been talking with you guys for months, now I'm putting those names to those videos and those comments. And it's like, watch, and I'm noticing things from a different perspective and things that I'm picking up on that Matt said at certain times are coming with a different flavor. Um, and there was things that I felt like people thought I was crazy when I said them, but I knew they were coming from Matt. And then I go back and I'm like, yep, I knew it. That's exactly what I was trying to say. And he did say it. And that is not the truth that you're telling me. And I knew I didn't just make it up in my brain. I feel like sometimes people were trying to, would it gaslight me? Yes, Laurel, that's a very good point. So, the programs for families and friends of addicts and alcoholics are very important. Very, 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 very important. And that would be Al Anon for those who are in the AA and Narcotics Anonymous groups. Overcomers has a second group for the family members. Uh, Trying to think of the other programs out there. Celebrate Recovery does too. And it's a separate group meeting for those with addiction problems and the family members to support for. And I believe the Celebrate Recovery even does one for the kids. Celebrate Recovery is an awesome program as well. Tough Gong, yep, you're right. They're using psychedelic mushrooms to get people off of drugs. They're using DMT. I've heard DMT therapy is very good for withdrawing from opiates. I've heard a big success with that. There was a priest that started that program, guys, like 10 years ago. And that is the same thing that you guys have maybe heard of, the ayahuasca, which people are going down to South America. It's not as intense. It's a small series of DMT is based out of the same plant, and it's a small series of those type of treatments. I actually did that for the severe depression I could not come out of. I would not suggest that for anybody coming off meth. I did it long after I was off meth and I could not get out of the depression. I could not get out of the depression. So I did some short term, what they call microdosing. That, in case any of you are wondering, is not about getting high. When you microdose, it's called micro for a reason. And it is for the treatment of depression for a lot of folks. That wasn't working for me. I maybe didn't give it long enough, but I ended up doing 3 sessions for the DMT, and I attributed that to helping save my life, to be honest with you, because the depression was that bad. It was that bad. And that was 9 months after I had stopped using the meth. So when I say meth brain and what it does to you, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you from somebody that's been there. I'm telling you from somebody that's gone through that clean and sober with other family members in the same condition that Matt was in for a year. That's why this was so close to home for me. Um, and I'm human. I didn't handle everything right. I feel looking back that I kind of got drawn into some very drama-ish kind of crap that was going on. That now I look back on it and I'm kind of pissed that I didn't catch it in time or really understand what was going on. And it still kind of ticks me off, to be honest with you. Scotty Kitty, you thought about going to Al-Anon? Anybody can go to Al-Anon, and I don't know that it wouldn't help everybody. Who doesn't have mental health issues in this? My dad used to say something to me. I'd always remember where I'm coming from. My dad had severe problems after Vietnam and mental health issues in his family before that ran in his family. And I remember as a kid, I'll never forget it. Why can't we just be normal? And my dad looked at me and he said, "What is normal?" And that stuck. And it's stuck ever since. What is normal? There is no normal. I think a lot of people suffer here in this country, in other countries. And if it's not alcohol and drug related, in one of their kids, their brothers, themselves, the mental health issue in this country is extremely dangerous and not getting better. It's getting worse. So I wish we could get over the stigma of counseling and help one another. And as I don't know what we have to do, but we can't wait for anybody to come save us as citizens and families and neighbors. It's going to have to be community effort, faith-based organizations. I went through treatment and AA for quite a while. It was the faith-based community that really put it all together for me, to be honest with you, in the end. I don't know why I have this little plus sign down here. Did I miss something? Sorry, guys. I'm still learning stuff. All right. Anybody here not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I would like to hit 1,000 someday. Get my AdSense paperwork put in. DMT sessions work, Tough Gong, microdose every other day. I believe in it. I totally believe in it. It's you talk about that stuff and people automatically go to the 60s, and so that's not what it's about. It's not what it's about. That's not what we're talking about here. It is very therapeutic and has helped a lot of people. Miss Cat says, yeah, she hears a lot of good things about the clinical ketamine treatments. Yeah, I've heard good and bad about that. I've never really looked into that much because I've heard controversy on that. If it's helping addicts get off of things and helping people with depression and other things, we should be studying it, and we should be and looking for alternatives and plant-based material. I'm all for it. I'm all for, I think everything we need is here on earth, and it does not have to be synthetically made, altered, and messed with by man. That's how I feel about it. Solomon's Landscaping, you've done probably 20 years of treatment and counseling, and you're happy to have moved past all. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with moving past all of it either. There comes a time, and I've said this before, and I've heard other people say it, and I've said it to somebody. Comes a time you need to stop navel gazing, and I've seen that happen when it comes to therapy and recovery as well. It's like people get stuck in that mode and they can't get out of it, and that's their whole mind is all about that. And there comes a time when you have to get out and you have to live, you have to get past it and stop looking at yourself and all the issues and problems and things that led you there, and constantly there comes that time for people. And I've seen that they stopped being addicted to drugs and alcohol and got addicted to therapy in recovery. I've seen it happen. Monkey paw foot massages are absolutely awesome. I'm all in for. I'll make you a margarita. I'll take the foot massage. How's that? Thank you, Miss Cat. She reported that video. If any of you haven't gone and reported the video, I'm going to say it one more time. We're going to end this live. We've been here for 2 hours again. I don't know how that happens. I just have so much fun with you guys. I'm going to try and do another one Sunday night, working on some videos. I work full time, you guys. I've literally, the last 3 days, I had some video stuff I wanted to do, and I'm working on getting OBS set up so we can have funner lives and do games and stuff. I've been so out of it that I literally got off work last night, made a sandwich, laid down with my dogs, and didn't move off the bed until I got up this morning. I've been just shot out, and I've got everything packed up to go camping this weekend. It's supposed to be good weather, and I'm hoping I make it because I need the retreat. Okay, so Maria, yeah, let me see if I can. I think I want to see if I emailed it to my or sent it to myself. So the funeral home, they live in Tennessee. The name of the town. Let me see if I sent it to myself. I think I sent it to myself. Okay. Come on. I don't have Mama's address, but they gave the funeral home address, and it won't pull up in my links now. I sent it to myself in a link, and it's not pulling up. I'm hitting the link, and it's not pulling up. I'm making myself so mad. Can I find it for y'all real quick? I'm going to my Facebook because that's where I saw it. It gave the funeral home's name, and usually through that you can send, letters and gifts and leave messages on the page. I'm going to their page now. No, I don't want to create a post. Dear Lord, you guys. Oh, there it is. And of course it doesn't pull it up. Dear Lord. Okay, of course it's not on his page. They can't get to his page. I don't know why the link I sent myself isn't working. Okay. His name is John Davis. He's from Jellicoe, Tennessee. And where is that funeral home? I'm not finding the funeral home. You guys, I'll post it. I found it earlier. I sent myself a link, and now it's not letting me pull up the link. Yeah, it's not letting me pull up the link. I tell you what, How about I will post it on my page or in the description of this video. Oh, thank you, Ambassador for Unity. Super chat. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. I'm going to give you a heart. I can give hearts now on my super chats. I couldn't do that before. I wish you were camping with me too, JJ. I know, and I used to have an endless supply of firewood from my ex-husband because he cut and sold wood until his accident last year. In case I never mentioned it, he fell off of a 30-foot ladder last year, and it's a miracle he's still here. They had to rebuild his whole rib cage and everything. Anyway, no more endless supply of firewood. I did cut some branches down, and they have been laying out in the sun. I don't know that they'll be any good. I got a little tiny, you guys, I bought me one of those little baby chainsaws, one of those little Temu specials. It works it worked for what I needed it for. I need to keep branches and stuff, and I wanted to be able to cut kindling up. I wouldn't try to cut big logs with it, but it works for what I need it for around the yard and around the house. And I hope that I'll get a little bit bigger one maybe someday, because now I'm going to have to start cutting my own firewood. There's plenty of firewood where I go camp, the different places I go camping. Fallen trees everywhere. And it's really good to clear a lot of that stuff out in the remote areas. I tend to leave the big piles alone because got a lot of snakes here. Got a lot of snakes here. And the snakes that are the scariest are copperheads. Are pretty bad. You don't want to get bit by a copperhead. And water moccasins, which they're pretty rare, but they're a bad bite too. We do have a few timber. You don't ever hear of anybody. It's the copperheads everybody's scared of here. So we don't want copperhead. I stay out of the brush piles. I find me a nice fallen tree that doesn't have a bunch of stuff around it. And we'll cut branches off of that and use that for firewood. But no more free firewood for Teresa. Deer ticks are bad this year. You're right. I've already gotten tested for Lyme's disease. I had three tick bites. It was not good. Yeah, monkey paw. I wouldn't go in Texas this time of year. It's already too hot. I go up in the Appalachians, Smokies. You get into the higher altitudes, and at night, it's still pretty humid and stuff during the day, but your night times are pretty enjoyable, and you can still this time of year start a campfire. July, August, maybe not, but you know what I mean. I'm usually going to baseball games that time of year anyway with the grandkids and everything. Miss Cat, yeah, Daniel Boone. Where do you live, Miss Cat? I live in Kentucky, so Daniel, I live right out. Seriously, I could throw a rock and hit the Daniel Boone National Forest. That's how I'm right on the border, but it's huge, 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 huge. I've been to Red River Gorge. New River Gorge in West Virginia is beautiful as well. Cumberland area, Cumberland Falls, Cumberland Gap area. Pine Mountain's great. That's a great area to go. That's not far from Cumberland Gap. And if you ever get a chance to stay at the State Park Resort there, they have like 120-year-old cabins you can stay in for less than a motel room, basically. And they're great. I got some video of that, but it was when I was brand new with my camera and didn't know anything about video editing. It was earlier this year in February, end of February. And I wasn't too happy with the footage, but we'll get there. I'm going back. Oh, JJ, you got snakes in Wisconsin, sweetheart. Sweetheart, you got some snakes in Wisconsin too. Probably not the copperheads, but and you know what? The other snakes don't bother me. The rat snakes and those, they don't even bother me. Um, they are very good rodent killers. If you have corn snakes, rat snakes, the black racer, whatever, leave them alone. The garter snakes, leave them alone. They'll keep all the rodents away from your house. They're not going to hurt you. They're not going to do anything to you. Coral snakes in Florida are very dangerous. Copperheads here are there's some that are dangerous and you definitely want to avoid them. But I'm not a lover of snakes. I'm not going to get a tank and keep snakes in my house or anything. But um, snakes can be a very good thing for keeping rodents away. When I lived in Iowa, you don't ever kill a corn snake ever. They eat all the mice out of your corn cribs. JJ, you haven't seen any? Yeah, garter snakes and garden snakes. I think you probably have some timber rattlers up there. I could be wrong. I know that they go as far north as like Connecticut. In fact, they're endangered in Connecticut and Massachusetts, I think it was. I heard that, Solomon. Is that Solomon's Landscaping? Would you guys go on? Go on. Go on. Go on. There you go. My dogs have been standing here dancing in front of me. I probably need to get off of here and go let them out. Okay. It's been nice talking to you guys. Hey, genies. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please go subscribe. Got 39 likes in here tonight. We had 88 people in here at one time. And anyway, if you haven't liked, if you haven't subscribed, help a granny out, would ya? Please like, subscribe. Scotty Kitty, thank you, sweetheart. Like and subscribe. It helps with the algorithm. Watch the videos when they do come out. I got some good ones coming out soon. Hopefully you'll think they're good anyway. I'm going to get more towards that. We are going to be doing lives. I'm hoping to start them next week. Is there anything good in the news today? We will be taking some good feeling local news stories. If you have any in your hometowns, please send them to me. And we want stuff that is good feeling. And I'm gonna be reading some old newspaper reports from small towns and whatever. It's just fun to read them. And we're going to be talking about those things. And I have some other ideas for lives coming up, games that we're going to be playing, nostalgia games mostly. Who's into nostalgia? Oh, thank you, Solomon's Landscaping. That was very, very nice of you, sir. Solomon's Landscaping just gave me $9.99 on a super chat, and I do very much appreciate that. And Scotty Kitty gave me $1.99, and I had one more, and I know I said your name, but I didn't say what it was. But thank you very much. You guys, it really does. It helps a granny out, and I want to get better equipment. I want to do better things. I'm enjoying the lives and I'm enjoying learning and I'm enjoying my YouTube adventure. And if anybody has any ideas how we can get a message across to YouTube that we need a better reporting system for things that like what happened to John, things I'm even going to say it like Matt. Maybe if this had been stopped months ago, the story would have had a different ending, right? I don't know that. I can't predict that. But it sure wasn't fun watching it, in my opinion. So how do we get across to YouTube? Anybody got any ideas? Send them to me. I'm gonna get with some other creators that I've been talking to and in my YouTube school channel. And I'm going to ask them the same questions because they've been around for a long time. And they've probably seen things like this where I haven't. The whole thing with John today really has shocked me. If you haven't gone and reported those videos, if you see those videos out there, his 80-year-old mother should not have to watch that and have that all over Facebook and have her family see that. And she was in that video, guys, screaming and crying. And that should be taken down. I don't care what anybody says. That is wrong. And that should be taken down. Help that lady out. Help Mama out. Report it, report it, report it. I'll get the link for the funeral home. Like I said, it probably wouldn't be too hard to find. They're in Tennessee. And I told you the town, I always forget the town name. So they're from the area, Jellicoe, the Oswego community of Jellicoe, Tennessee. They're very small communities, so it will not be high. And I wish I could remember the name off, but I'll put a post up with the funeral home. You can go leave your condolences there, send flowers if you wish. And everybody have a great night. But Granny's got to go. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being here.